Airport. EK means entitled kid. EP means entitled parent. So I was just sitting in the airport and my flight got delayed. I got bored scrolling through Reddit, so I decided to play Minecraft on my phone. Then entitled kid came up behind me and tried to yank my phone out of my hand. Hey, please don't yank my phone. No, I want to play. Entitled parent comes in. Let my kid have your phone. He wants to play. No ma'am, I paid for the phone and I can't trust your child with my phone. I don't care. Give your phone to my angel. This is where I got frustrated. Ma'am, this is my phone. I bought it, not you. How about you buy your kid a phone and leave me alone? She got pissed off and stomped off and gave me dirty looks the rest of the time. Thank God she wasn't on my plane. Remembered an entitled parent story from when I worked retail that I thought you all would appreciate here. When I was a teenager, I worked in a bookshop that also had a few kids' toys with a sign saying, "We are fragile, please don't play with us." Occasionally a kid would play anyway and I'd kindly ask them not to. Mostly they were fine and their parents understood. However, one time I had a total Karen. She even had the haircut with highlights and all. And a brat with a bowl cut. Probably aged like 5. Bowl cut brat is roughly pulling a breakable toy while I'm ringing up another customer, and since I'm working alone and could be in trouble if it breaks on my watch, I have to lean around and politely call, "Hey, could you please not play with that? Thank you." Bowl cut brat literally runs crying to Karen, who comforts him while giving me death glares. Once the other customers were gone, she stamped up and gave me an earful about how I was so mean and my attitude was terrible, and the toys shouldn't be out if kids can't play with them. Huh? They're merchandise for sale. This isn't a daycare or a waiting room. I was polite and said I didn't mean to upset anyone, but I didn't back down or apologise, which pissed her off more. The manager wasn't in there to speak to, which really pissed her off. She finally left with a promise that you won't see me again. Like, fuck you, Karen, and fuck your awful bowl cut brat too. If I don't see you again, that would make my life way better. Entitled mum upset I made plans that didn't involve her daughter. This story takes place when I was a 7th grader, 13. I am now in my final semester of university, 22. I was at a pool party for my class. One of my best friends at the time was talking about possibly having a barbecue and sleepover for the weekend, but it wasn't for sure. This friend also consistently called my flat-chested. I told my mum about this, but she never said anything to the mother because we were friends, and it really was not a huge deal. However, later that weekend, another girl asked if I wanted to sleep over, and I agreed. Later that day, the first girl called me and asked if I could come over for the barbecue and sleep over, but I told her that someone else had already asked me to sleep over. A few minutes later, I get a call from her mum telling me that it was mean and wrong of me to make plans when her daughter had talked about the possible plans for the weekend. These plans were not for certain, and she was also friends with the other girl that invited me, so she could have joined as well. My mum overheard this phone call and was enraged and called her mum and told her about all the things that her daughter told me about my flat chest. And the mother felt bad and had her daughter call me back to apologise. Entitled mother demands pizza be remade for being burnt. My mum is extremely entitled and she throws a lot of tantrums. This one wasn't nearly as bad as some of the other ones, but I remember this one well. Cast, W's waiter, M's manager, entitled manager's me. Last night we were at a restaurant and everything was going okay until the food came out. I was eating my food and it was just fine. Entitled mother, however, begins to complain that her entire pizza is burnt. I glanced over and her pizza looked like a normal pizza. There was nothing out of the ordinary. Mum, there was nothing wrong with the pizza. Please just eat it. I can't. It just tastes like charcoal. It's disgusting. The whole bottom is burnt. She shows me the bottom, which does have some dark brown spots, simply because it's made in a wood fire. My dad and I try to explain this to her, but she refuses to listen. Mum, there isn't even any black on it. Yes, there is, and it's absolutely awful. Why do you always have to argue with me? Can't you just be a decent daughter and support me? I just rolled my eyes, and then the waiter came over. Is everything tasting alright here? No, my entire pizza is burnt. It tastes like charcoal. The waiter then explains to my mum that's how it always is, and brown spots are unavoidable. But my mum refuses to give up, and eventually he takes the pizza back to the kitchen. Then the manager comes out. So there was an issue with the pizza. Yes, it was absolutely disgusting, and now I'm sitting here starving, so I want this taken off the bill. We're happy to remake it for you, but you still have to pay since we are remaking it, and you ate some of the last one. Entitled mother looks like she wants to argue, but after my dad glares at her, she gives up. The new pizza comes out, and she is satisfied with that one, since they just undercooked it, so it wouldn't have any brown on it. Hey, thanks for watching to the end. If you want to leave a comment, go ahead. I always see them. I always enjoy engaging with them. You can subscribe if you want, if you choose to. No, there's no pressure to. Or you can click one of the other videos on the screen now. Or you may even have a favourite subreddit that you'd like covered.